Good morning, my dear students. Welcome to this English class once again. I hope you are all doing fine. You are studying well, paying attention to the work, following the schedule, and also keeping safe. So, as I had told you earlier, that today's class is going to be a class on poetry. So, we would be taking up the second poem in your book, and that is by the name of An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum by Stephen Spender. Right? So, before I give you the details of how, what the poem is all about and what it focuses on, what it concentrates on, you need to understand that this poem is just parallel to what we had done in the chapter Lost Spring. So in Lost Spring, we were dealing with children who were living below the poverty line, and we looked into the lives of Mukesh and Savita and Sahibe Alam. Likewise, this particular poetry, An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum, it focuses on a classroom, a school in a slum area. And though this classroom is supposed to be, of a school, but still because it's in a slum area, it does not have the facilities that it is supposed to have. So the poet is Stephen Spender, and when you will look in your book, so you come to know, that he was an English poet and essayist, and he left his studies from Berlin in 1930. And thereafter, he declared himself to be a socialist and a pacifist. And for him, his books and his work, which got a lot of recognition, were Poems of Dedication, The Edge of Being, The Creative Element, The Struggle of the Modern, which was an autobiography, etc. Okay, so in this particular poetry, that is Elementary School Classroom in a Slum, Spender presents a very despairing picture of a school classroom in a slum area. And he deals with the theme of social injustice and class inequalities. Okay, he feels that whatever is happening with these children is not fair. Okay, and he suggests that the children studying in schools and slum will narrow in their outlook. And he also cautions the society that if soon something is not done regarding the development, regarding the upliftment of these children, who are definitely the future of the country, then it is going to be a revolt which will definitely cause destruction. So when you look at the poem, you will notice that there is he paints a picture with a lot of despair and gloom, which is not just his imagination, but which is a reality. So what is the life of these children? We already saw when we were dealing with Anis Jung's Lost Spring. And here what we are going to do is that we will study that how Stephen Spender, he attacks on the capitalistic economies in which the rich becomes richer and the poor becomes more poor, and there are so many miseries in the lives of these poor people. And you will discover that these people, their lives, they are devoid of any opportunity, okay, and have become prey to social injustice, and there is nothing that is being done about them. So you will find in the end, when we come towards the end of the poetry, that Spender demands equal opportunities for education for the poor and the underprivileged. He feels that these children should be given equal opportunities like the children of the rich people. These children should be given just the same similar kind of facilities which are given to the other children of better off families. So when the poem will start, you will see, that the description of the children is giving, and it is quite pathetic. The children are described as quite malnourished and sick, and they do not have any exposure to the real world. Their world or their life is just restricted to that slum, which is bleak, dull, dark, grey. and it's all bottled up, you will find over there. And they are living in an environment of utter hopelessness. So this elementary school classroom in a slum will tell you about how is a school or a classroom in a slum. And though it seems to be a school and a classroom, but actually, it is not providing the children the exact things that needs to be given to them in terms of education, facilities, a better life, a hope for future. So this is what the entire poetry is all about. And while you will be studying it, please bear in mind that you have to draw a parallel between this poetry and the chapter Lost Spring. In Lost Spring, you saw the lives of these children who are not going to school, but they are just put under the burden of child labor. Here, we have these little children going to school, but it is not doing them any good. Okay, so as you look into the poetry and you look into their, hopelessness, and you look into the fact that the stakeholders of the society, the government, the social workers, the law, the inspectors, all these people, just the way we had a parallel, that spiral of that endless spiral of hopelessness. Similarly, here also the poet is going to highlight about these things. And he says that definitely these people are supposed to do something to unshackle these children from the bond of poverty and ensure them equal rights and opportunities. And as per Stephen Spender, who I told you was a pacifist, he says that they should get good education and they should become a part of the real world where they should be entitled to social equality. So this is what the poem is all about. As I give you a detailed line-wise explanation, I will also provide you with the glossary of the difficult words. I want you to please pay attention, keep a pencil in hand, be ready, and ensure that whatever is being taught in this class is understood by you word by word. So let's not waste time and look into details of this lovely poetry, which looks into one section of the society which is completely ignored through the poetry, An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum by Stephen Spender. See you, children.